Let me show you the other part of the syntax that I didn't show in the last video about conditional execution, that based on certain condition do this, or based on certain condition do otherwise. And then I'll also show you how to use the status bar to show the display of the program. So what I'm going to do, let me show you a condition. The condition is like that, if it is 1, or when you divide it by 2, this row, if it is remainder is 1, you color it in green, otherwise you color in red. So here you get divided by 2, it's 0, so color in red. So that way it should become green, this should become red. Green, red. Why? Because here the remainder is 0. Now let me show you how I can do it. So it's a conditional stuff, that what is the value of this, and if the value is a particular way, do it one thing, otherwise do other way. So let me just quickly record some macro to get the syntax of coloring. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to record macro. I'll do absolute only because I just need to know a little bit of syntax. So I'll say record macro. I'll come here, I have selected, and let's say I want to fill in green here. Okay, and let's say this I want to fill in, let me rather this fill in little, not so intense green, and let me put it here, probably this color, so that it's visible, and I want to continue doing this. So let me go ahead, stop recording, and now let me show you how I can do it. So how I can write the if-else kind of statement in VBA. Also one more thing I have done this time, I have taking some feedback. I went to the tools options and changed the edit format to size 14, so that the VBA command is relatively easily visible in the video also, and you will not have to make full screen to see it. So now look at, what is the syntax that I have. This is the syntax that I have, and I'll use A1, A2 to B2, which is all about coloring in a particular way, where you look at this is the internal color that I have, and here is the other color that I have. Now let me show you how I am going to use it. So I am going into this program, and I'll comment out this, because right now I want to show you that how you use the coloring. So this is good, but you want to do something like this if at all the value is when the value is odd. So what you are going to do, let me just take it something like this. Now what I have done here, I am going to take the value from A1 sheet, right? And if this value, is, what you do, you define mod function, mod 2. Mod gives you reminder. If this is, not equal to 0, then you want this whole set of things to be done. And here obviously, like always, you like it to be row cnt, ampersand, so that the row number is changing all the time. So look at what will happen now. Now what will happen, it will A2 to B2, A3 to B3, something like that it will do. And this time, again, because I want to run it for all of them, I'm not going to use this syntax where I was taking user input from the Excel sheet. Let me rather use the do while command. Okay, so I'll use do while, and I'll put this loop here. Why? Because I want this whole coloring to be coming here. And let me just take this for loop here and comment out this. So let me just comment the whole thing. Let me first remove the comment of this and put the whole thing in comment. So what I'm doing now, I'm just going to the do while loop. These are all commented. So it will take input, it will, unless it finds a blank, it will keep doing row CNT equal to row CNT1. Row CNT will start 1, so it will obviously go from row 2. If row 2 value, the mod is not 0, it will do this coloring. Else, so here I need to define else. So look at within else, else if, or I can just say else, like, just color like this. So else, and whenever you are doing if else, keep in mind you have to end if also. So if you look at this whole thing is a block. If this, then do this, else do this, and then end if is saying that this if else command has ended here. Again, I'll have to just take this portion which says, if it is not, mod is not 0, what to do, like this. And let's check the syntax. So right now, whatever is syntax, let me just overwrite it so that I know it is working. So now it is completely blank, and if I run it this time, obviously it won't take input from here because it's doing do while, so it will keep coloring. Let's see that, if the syntax is fine. So what you do, first step, debug, compile, so it looks okay. Here you can see there is another color. Here it, what is the interior color? It looks like both this time it is same color. Let me just check that, have I copied and pasted correctly or not. So A2 to B2 and A3 to B3. Oh no, here is the color. So SN6 and SN2, so that's okay. So here is the correct color. Now what will happen if I run? It should run and it should keep coloring. So type mismatch. Okay, let's just see. A2 to, oh, here is the error, sorry. I'll need to do ampersand, not the that sign. So let me just save it and run it again. So what it has done? So it has colored, right? It has gone till here and colored because probably, on row CNT equal to 16 also I have put that coloring, and that's why it continued. So if you look at what did you learn? You learned at how to write your if else command. If you write this way, you took some value. If it is meeting certain condition, you did something, otherwise you did something else. If else always ends up. If I had more conditions, like, if it is, I could have probably, put it something like this also. So if, is, let's say, put it this way. With your, when you're doing reminder from 3, mod 3 gives you reminder. So essentially, when you divide this number from 3, what will happen? So reminder will be either 1, 2 or 0. Here 1, 2, 0. Let's see how does it go. So what you are doing, if reminder is 1, you want to color it like this. You want to put the same condition that, if reminder is 2, then do something. So this time you did if else if reminder is 2, do something like this, and else do something like third criteria. So, and this time you remove else if, you remove the condition, that becomes your third condition. So if else if else, this time what you want to do, and I don't know the color, but I can probably, try with 9. Let's see that if it puts another color. So this time it should put 3 colors, like one color for these 2 colors should remain, but here the color should change. So let me just try it. So it is saying this is not defined. Let me try 5 if at all it is defined. If it is not defined, then I'll record macro to check another color. So it colored, and so what you learned here, you learned how to write if else, and every time you end up here. So you learned conditional execution. At times, you like the status, especially when you are running a very big macro, to come here. Now let me show you that, how you can do it. To do that, you can probably do that application means Excel, dot status bar, okay, and here you put it to running it for and you put row CNT, so it should keep doing. However, what you will realize that it will run so fast that you will not be able to see it. So now if you run it this time, so running it for 07, you are seeing just last 17 because it ran very quickly. So essentially what you need to do, if you are going to use it only for something which is very big program, so that it is running and you are not realizing that what is happening. So at that time at least it will keep showing. And always remember to keep it clean it also, so that once you are done, it just cleans up also. So what do you do to clean up? Just come here and put the blank. That way it will just put the blank and it will it will be ready. It will not confuse you. So if you run this time, so look at it, now it is showing ready, very much the way it was showing earlier. In the next part I'm going to show you that how do you use the form and how do you design the form rather.